She came into the kitchen that Tuesday morning with a look I hadn't seen in months. Smiling, almost glowing. "David," she said. Her voice was shaking. "I have incredible news." I was standing at the counter with my coffee. It was a little past 7. I'd slept in the second bedroom again. 6 months now. "I'm pregnant," she whispered. "We're going to have a baby." I didn't move. I set the mug down slowly, looked at her, and said it. "Congratulations. Who's the father?" Her face went completely still. "What did you just say?" I pulled my phone out, opened the calendar app, turned the screen toward her. "March 10th. That's the last time we were in the same bed. It's September 18th now. 6 months, 8 days. I zoomed in so she could see the notes I'd been keeping. Every single night. Second bedroom. "So I'll ask again," I said. "Who's the father?" She opened her mouth. Nothing came out. That's when I reached into the drawer and pulled out the second phone, the one she didn't know about, the one that had been recording everything. If you want to know what was on that recording and why her attorney tried to block it in court, stay with me. What the judge said when he heard it stopped the whole proceeding. "My name is David Callahan. I'm 41. I live in Denver. I'm a data analyst. I work from home 3 or 4 days a week, so I'm around more than most husbands. That matters. You'll see why. My wife's name is Lauren. She's 38. She sells commercial real estate. She's good at it. Nice car, nice clothes, the whole setup. We'd been married 9 years, no kids, not because we didn't want them. We'd tried. Doctors, tests, treatments, thousands of dollars. The results were clear. Low count on my side. Possible, but not likely without help. We did 2 rounds of IVF. Both failed. After the second one, Lauren shut down. She didn't want to talk about it, didn't want to try again. "I can't keep doing this," she said one night. "It's too much." I understood. Or, I thought I did. "We can take a break," I told her. "Focus on us." She nodded. But something shifted after that. She started working longer hours, more client dinners, weekend open houses, late nights at the office. Then one night in March, she said it. "I think we should sleep separately for a while." I looked at her. "What?" "Just temporarily," she said quickly. "I'm not sleeping well. I'm stressed. I just need some space." "Space? Lauren, we're married." "I know. And I love you. But I need this. Please." I didn't argue. Maybe I should have. But I moved into the guest room and I stayed there. At first I told myself it was temporary. She was dealing with the fertility stuff. She needed time. But weeks became months. We barely touched. Barely talked beyond the basics. "Can you pick up groceries? I'll be late tonight. Did you pay the water bill?" We were roommates, not spouses. And then I started noticing other things. New underwear in the laundry, perfume I didn't recognize, late-night texts she'd turn her phone over for when I walked by. One night I was in the hallway. The bedroom door was cracked open. I heard her on the phone. Her voice was soft, warm. "I miss you too," she whispered. "I can't wait to see you." I stood there in the dark and listened to my wife tell another man she loved him. I didn't go in, didn't confront her. Instead, I did what I know how to do. I started collecting data. I started keeping a log. Dates, times, patterns, everything written down. I checked our phone records online, found a number that showed up constantly. Late nights, early mornings, weekends. I ran it through a reverse lookup site. His name was Kyle Brennan, 29 years old. Personal trainer at the gym Lauren had joined 4 months earlier. Of course. I looked him up on social media. Sharp jawline, visible abs in every photo, the kind of guy who posts workout videos with captions about discipline and growth. I felt sick, but I kept going. I installed a GPS tracker on her car. Legal in Colorado as long as you're a co-owner. I was. I started cross-referencing her location with her calendar. Client showing in Cherry Creek turned into 3 hours at Kyle's apartment building. Dinner meeting downtown turned into a hotel bar, then the same hotel for 4 hours. Girls' trip to Boulder. Kyle's Instagram showed him in Boulder that same weekend. Every lie, every movement. I logged it all. I built a spreadsheet, color-coded, cross-referenced. If I was going to do this, I was going to do it right. But I needed more than location data. I needed audio. So I bought a small voice-activated recorder. Magnetic backing. I placed it under the driver's seat of her car. Colorado is a two-party consent state for recording conversations, but there's some gray area with vehicles you own. I didn't care anymore. I needed the truth. For 2 weeks, I got nothing but radio stations and client calls. Then one evening, I heard it. Her voice. His voice. "I can't keep doing this," Lauren said. "So leave him," Kyle replied. "You said the marriage was already over." "It's not that simple. There's money involved. The house, his retirement accounts." My hands tightened on the steering wheel. I was sitting in my car in the driveway, listening through earbuds. "What if we just wait it out?" Kyle said. "You said he's barely present anyway." Lauren laughed. "He's basically a ghost. We haven't had sex in 6 months." "Good," Kyle said. "More for me." They both laughed. I stopped the recording, sat there in the dark, made a decision. I called a lawyer the next morning. Her name was Patricia Ortiz. A colleague had gone through a divorce 2 years ago. He'd recommended her with one sentence: "She doesn't lose." I sat in her office and played the recordings. She listened without interrupting. When it finished, she leaned back in her chair. "How long has this been going on?" "At least 4 months, maybe longer." "And you've been in separate bedrooms for 6 months?" "Correct." She made a note. "That's going to matter." "Why?" "Because if she tries to claim any child is yours, we can establish clear separation, no cohabitation, no intimacy." I frowned. "She's not pregnant." Patricia looked at me. "Not yet." I didn't understand what she meant. Not until 3 weeks later. I was working from home. Lauren had a property tour that afternoon. I heard her come in around 4:30, heard her go straight to the bedroom. Then I heard something else. Crying. I walked down the hall, knocked on the door. "Lauren, you okay?" "I'm fine," she called out. Her voice was thick. "You don't sound fine." A pause. "Just give me a minute." I waited. 5 minutes later she came out. Her eyes were red, but she was smiling. "David," she said softly, "can we talk?" We sat in the living room. She took my hands. "I know things have been hard between us," she started. "I know I've been distant." I didn't say anything. "But I have incredible news." Her eyes filled with tears. "I'm pregnant." The words just hung there. I looked at her, really looked at her. She was glowing, radiant. The picture of a joyful, expectant mother, and I felt nothing but cold clarity. "Congratulations," I said evenly. "Who's the father?" Her smile froze. "What?" I pulled out my phone, opened my calendar, turned the screen toward her. March 10th. That's the last time we shared a bed. I zoomed in, showed her 6 months of notes. Second bedroom, every single night. It's September 18th. That's 6 months and 8 days. I looked at her. "So unless this is the second coming, the math doesn't work." Her face went from confused to pale to red. Are you accusing me of cheating?" "I'm not accusing you of anything," I said calmly. "I'm asking a simple question. If you're pregnant and we haven't had sex in 6 months, who's the father?" "This is insane." She stood up. "How dare you?" "Kyle Brennan," I said. She stopped mid-sentence. "Personal trainer, 29 years old, lives at the Riverside complex. You've been seeing him for at least 4 months." Her mouth opened, closed. "I have recordings, Lauren, GPS logs, hotel receipts. I know everything." She tried to recover, tried to spin it. "Okay, fine. Yes, I've been seeing someone, but this baby, it could still be yours. We haven't had sex in 6 months. Before that, it could be from before." "You're 2 months along, Lauren. You just said so yourself." She stared at me. "In the car," I said. 2 weeks ago, you told Kyle you were 8 weeks pregnant. You were worried about timing. Her eyes went wide. You've been recording me? You've been cheating on me, I said. I'd say we're even. She sat back down, deflated. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. Then she tried a different approach, softer, vulnerable. David, please. I made a mistake. But this baby, we can raise it together. You always wanted to be a father. I almost laughed. You want me to raise another man's child after you've been lying to me for months? People do it all the time. Not me. I stood up. I've already filed for divorce. You'll be served tomorrow. Her face went completely white. You what? I filed 3 days ago. I was waiting to see if you'd tell me the truth. I walked toward the door. David, wait. Congratulations on the baby, Lauren. I hope Kyle's excited. I walked out. She was served the next morning at her office. I know because her lawyer called me within 2 hours. Mr. Callahan, this is Andrew Marsh. I represent Lauren Callahan. I'd like to discuss a settlement. I'm listening. My client is willing to agree to a clean split. No alimony, no claims on your assets. She just wants to move forward. That's generous, I said. What's the catch? She'd like you to refrain from discussing certain private matters publicly. You mean the affair. Silence. Mr. Marsh, I'm not interested in public humiliation, but I'm also not interested in being defrauded. If she tries to claim that child is mine, I'll use every piece of evidence I have. Understood. We agreed to meet the following week. The meeting was in a conference room downtown, glass walls, long table, leather chairs. Lauren was there, her lawyer, me, Patricia. Lauren looked tired. The glow was gone. Andrew started. We're prepared to offer a straightforward division of assets. The house will be sold, proceeds split 50-50, retirement accounts divided equally, no alimony. Patricia nodded. And the child? Andrew hesitated. My client acknowledges that Mr. Callahan is not the biological father. I felt a grim satisfaction. She's willing to sign an affidavit to that effect, Andrew continued. In exchange, Mr. Callahan agrees not to contest custody or support. Done, I said. Lauren looked up, surprised. Really? Really, I said. I don't want anything to do with that child. It's not mine. It's not my responsibility. Her eyes filled with tears. Sign the papers, Lauren. She did, but it wasn't over. 2 weeks later, Patricia called. We have a problem. What kind of problem? Lauren's lawyer is claiming you're the father. They're demanding a paternity test. I frowned. She signed an affidavit. She's recanting, says she was under duress, confused. I felt my jaw tighten. She's lying. I know, but we need to prove it. How? Paternity test. But here's the thing. If the test shows you're not the father, we can use that to prove fraud. We can go after her for legal fees, emotional distress, everything. I smiled for the first time in weeks. Set it up. The paternity test was done at a clinic in Lakewood. I gave a cheek swab. Lauren provided medical records showing the baby's DNA profile from an early screening. We waited 2 weeks for results. When they came back, Patricia called me immediately. You're not the father. 0% match. Good. Better than good. We can now prove she attempted to defraud you. I'm filing an amended petition. Do it. The next hearing was different. Andrew looked rattled. Lauren looked defeated. The judge reviewed the paternity results, reviewed the timeline, reviewed excerpts from the recordings Patricia had submitted. Mrs. Callahan, the judge said. His voice was stern. Did you or did you not attempt to claim your husband was the father of your child, knowing he was not? Andrew jumped in. Your Honor, my client was emotionally confused. I'm asking Mrs. Callahan. Lauren looked at the table. Yes. And did you sign an affidavit acknowledging he was not the father, then later recant that statement? Yes. The judge set down his pen. This is fraud, Mrs. Callahan. You attempted to deceive this court and your husband for financial gain. He turned to Patricia. What are you seeking? Full reimbursement of legal fees, Your Honor, plus sanctions for fraudulent claims. The judge nodded. Granted. Mrs. Callahan will pay all legal fees incurred by Mr. Callahan. Additionally, she will receive no portion of the marital home or retirement accounts. Lauren's head snapped up. What? You committed fraud, Mrs. Callahan. This court does not reward that behavior. Andrew tried to object. The judge shut him down. This hearing is concluded. I walked out of that courthouse with everything: the house, my retirement accounts, my dignity. Lauren walked out with nothing but a baby that wasn't mine and a legal bill she couldn't afford. Patricia shook my hand on the courthouse steps. That's the cleanest win I've seen in years. Thank you. What will you do now? I looked up at the Denver sky, clear, blue, endless. Move forward. 6 months later, I sold the house. Too many memories. Too many quiet rooms that used to mean something. I bought a smaller place in Capitol Hill. A condo, 2 bedrooms, big windows, clean lines. Mine. I threw myself into work, got promoted to senior analyst, started traveling for conferences, started feeling like myself again. One afternoon I was at a coffee shop near Union Station, working on my laptop. A woman sat down at the table next to me. She dropped her phone. I picked it up, handed it back. Thanks, she said. No problem. She smiled, went back to her book. 10 minutes later, the barista called out the wrong name for my order. We both reached for the same cup, laughed. I think that one's mine, she said. Pretty sure it's mine. We checked the labels. Both wrong. Her name was Emma. She was a graphic designer, freelance. We started talking about work, about Denver, about the coffee shop's terrible labeling system. She didn't know my story, didn't know about Lauren or the divorce or any of it. She just knew me as David, data analyst, terrible at remembering coffee orders, likes dogs, and that felt good. We exchanged numbers, started texting, then meeting for coffee, then dinner. I didn't rush it, didn't push. I'd learned my lesson about trust. But Emma was different. She was direct, honest, no games, no hidden layers. One night over dinner, she asked, "Have you ever been married?" I paused. "Yeah, it didn't work out." "I'm sorry." "Don't be. I'm better off." She smiled. "Good. Because I like who you are now." And I realized something. Lauren had tried to trap me with a lie, but the truth had set me free. I heard through mutual friends that Lauren had the baby, a boy. Kyle wasn't involved. Left when things got complicated. She was raising the kid alone, working 2 jobs to make ends meet. Part of me felt bad for her, but a bigger part remembered the recordings, the lies, the attempt to make me responsible for a child that wasn't mine. She made her choices. Now she was living with them. A year after the divorce, I got a message on LinkedIn. "David, I know I don't deserve a response, but I wanted to say I'm sorry for everything. You deserved better. I hope you're happy." I stared at the message for a long time. Then I deleted it. Not out of anger, not out of spite, but because I'd moved on and she was part of a life I didn't live anymore. 2 years later, Emma and I got married. Small ceremony, close friends, no drama. We honeymooned in Portugal, walked cobblestone streets, ate grilled sardines by the water, drank wine on rooftops at sunset. One evening, sitting on a terrace overlooking Lisbon, she took my hand. "I'm glad I met you," she said. "Me too. Do you ever think about before?" I looked out at the city lights. "Sometimes, but not the way you'd think." "What do you mean?" "I don't miss it. I don't regret it ending. I just learned from it." "What did you learn?" I turned to her. "That the truth always comes out, and when it does, you want to be on the right side of it." She squeezed my hand. "I'll drink to that." We clinked glasses, and I realized something. Lauren had tried to rewrite history, to make me the father of a child that wasn't mine, but history doesn't rewrite itself. The truth does that for you. 3 years after the divorce, I was cleaning out old files in the condo, moving things into storage. I found the recordings, the ones I'd made in her car, the ones that proved everything. I held the USB drive in my hand, thought about everything it represented, the betrayal, the lies, the moment my marriage ended. Then I walked to the kitchen, turned on the gas stove, and held the drive over the flame. It melted slowly, plastic bubbling, metal warping. Emma walked in from the bedroom. "What are you doing?" "Letting go," I said. She watched the drive melt into nothing. Then she wrapped her arms around me from behind. "I'm proud of you." "For what?" "For choosing to move forward instead of looking back." I turned off the stove, tossed the melted plastic in the trash. "I don't need proof anymore," I said. "I know what happened. That's enough." And it was. Last month, Emma told me she was pregnant. We were sitting in the same kitchen where Lauren had told me her lie 3 years earlier. But this time, everything was different. "Are you happy?" Emma asked. Nervous, I pulled her close. "I'm terrified and excited and so happy." "Good," she whispered, "because I am too." We sat there for a long time, just holding each other, and I thought about how different this moment was from that other one. No lies, no doubts, no questions about paternity or trust or truth. Just two people building a life together, the right way. Our daughter was born on a Thursday in March, same month Lauren had asked for separate bedrooms all those years ago. But this time, there was no separation, no distance. Just Emma, me, and a tiny human who had my eyes and her mother's smile. I held her in the hospital room, this perfect little person, and I felt something I'd never felt before, complete peace. "What should we name her?" Emma asked. I looked down at my daughter. "Claire." Emma smiled. "Claire Callahan. I like it." "Me too." Because that's what she was. Proof that after betrayal, after lies, after everything falls apart, you can still build something beautiful. You just have to be willing to start over with the truth. 5 years later, I was at a park with Claire. She was running around the playground, pigtails bouncing, laughing at everything. Emma was beside me, pregnant with our second, a boy this time. "Daddy, push me," Claire called from the swings. I jogged over, started pushing her higher. "Higher," she squealed. "You sure? Higher!" I pushed harder. She laughed, that pure, uninhibited laugh that only kids can manage. And I thought about the man I was 5 years ago, broken, betrayed, sitting in a guest room wondering how his marriage had died. That man wouldn't recognize me now. This man, father, husband, builder of a life that's real. He's someone I'm proud to be. "Daddy, watch this." Claire jumped off the swing midair, landed in the wood chips, threw her arms up like a gymnast. 10 out of 10, I called. She ran back, hugged my legs. "I love you, Daddy." "I love you too, Claire." Emma walked over, took my hand. "You good?" she asked. I looked at my daughter, at my wife, at the life we'd built from scratch. "Yeah," I said. "I'm good." And I meant it, because the truth didn't just set me free. It gave me everything I never knew I needed. One Saturday morning, about a year later, I was at the grocery store with Claire. She was 6 now, helping me pick out cereal. I turned the corner into the next aisle and saw her, Lauren. She was standing near the bread section, thinner than I remembered, tired looking, a little boy in the cart, maybe 5 years old, her son. She saw me at the same moment. We both froze. Claire tugged on my hand. "Daddy, can we get the one with the marshmallows?" "Sure, sweetheart." Lauren's eyes moved to Claire, then back to me. For a moment, I thought she might say something, apologize again, try to explain. But she didn't. She just gave a small nod, turned her cart around, and walked the other way. I stood there for a second, watching her go. Claire tugged my hand again. "Daddy?" "Yeah, let's go." We finished shopping, checked out, loaded the car. As I buckled Claire into her seat, she asked, "Who was that lady?" "Someone I used to know," I said. She looked sad. Maybe she was. "Are you sad?" I looked at my daughter, her big brown eyes, her curious little face. "No," I said. "I'm not sad." And I wasn't. Because seeing Lauren didn't hurt, didn't anger me, didn't make me wish things had gone differently. It just reminded me how far I'd come. That night, after Claire was asleep, I told Emma about running into Lauren. We were sitting on the couch, her head on my shoulder. "How did it feel?" she asked. "Honestly? Nothing. I felt nothing." "That's good, right?" "Yeah, it is." She was quiet for a moment. You know what I love about you? She said. What? You didn't become bitter. A lot of people would have. I thought about that. I think I was bitter for a while, I said. But staying bitter would have meant she still had power over me, and I didn't want that. Emma lifted her head, looked at me. You're a good man, David Callahan. I try. She kissed me, soft and warm. And you're a good father. I'm learning. You're doing more than learning. We sat there in the quiet. The house settled around us, our life, our home. And I realized something. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean excusing what happened. It just means letting go of the weight. I'd let go. And I was lighter for it. Our son was born in November. We named him James. Claire was obsessed with him, wanted to hold him constantly, sang him songs she made up, brought him her stuffed animals. He needs Mr. Bear, she'd say seriously, for protection. Emma and I would smile, watch her be a big sister. Life felt full, not perfect, but full. James was about 6 months old when I got a call from Patricia Ortiz, my divorce lawyer. I hadn't heard from her in years. David, hi. I hope I'm not bothering you. Not at all. What's up? I wanted to give you a heads up. Lauren's attorney contacted me. I felt a small knot in my stomach. About what? She's asking if you'd be willing to sign a document, a formal release, stating you have no parental rights or responsibilities for her son. I already did that. Years ago. I know, but apparently she's getting married. Her fiancé wants to adopt the boy. They need your signature to confirm you're not the legal father. I was quiet for a moment. What do you think? Patricia asked. I think it's fine. Send me the document. I'll sign it. You're sure? Positive. That kid deserves a father who's actually there. If her fiancé wants to step up, good for him. Understood. I'll have it couriered over. Thanks, Patricia. David? Yeah? You handled all this with a lot of grace. I just wanted you to know that. I appreciate that. We hung up. Emma was feeding James in the kitchen. I walked in, leaned against the counter. Everything okay? She asked. Yeah. Lauren's getting remarried. Her fiancé wants to adopt her son. They need me to sign something confirming I'm not the father. Emma looked up. How do you feel about that? Relieved, honestly. That kid should have a real father, not a question mark. She smiled. You're a better person than most people would be. I don't know about that. I just don't want to carry it anymore. Carry what? Resentment, anger, all of it. It's too heavy. Emma adjusted James in her arms. He was falling asleep, milk-drunk and peaceful. I'm glad you let it go, she said softly. Me too. The document arrived 2 days later. I read through it. Straightforward. Legal language confirming I was not the biological father. No rights, no responsibilities. I signed it at the kitchen table, put it back in the envelope. Claire was coloring beside me. What's that, Daddy? Just some paperwork, sweetheart. Is it important? It used to be, not anymore. She went back to her drawing. A house with a big sun, 4 stick figures. Me, Emma, her, James. I looked at that drawing for a long time. Then I sealed the envelope and dropped it in the mail the next morning. A few months later, I was at a work conference in Phoenix. Networking event in the hotel lobby. I was talking to a colleague when someone approached. David Callahan? I turned. Didn't recognize him at first. Then I did. Kyle Brennan. Older, heavier, different haircut. But the same guy. Kyle, I said evenly. He looked uncomfortable. I wasn't sure if that was you. Can I talk to you for a minute? I glanced at my colleague. Give me a second. We stepped to the side, near the windows. What do you want? I asked. Not hostile, just direct. I wanted to apologize, he said, for what happened. With Lauren, it was wrong. I was wrong. I looked at him. He seemed sincere, uncomfortable, but sincere. Okay, I said. I didn't know she was going to try to pin the kid on you. I swear. When I found out, I left. I know. He blinked. You know? I heard through people. You left when things got complicated. He nodded, looked down. I'm not proud of any of it. Then don't do it again. He looked up. What? Don't sleep with married women. Don't be that guy. Learn from it and don't do it again. He was quiet for a moment, then nodded. I won't. Good. He extended his hand. I looked at it, then shook it. Take care of yourself, Kyle. You too. He walked away. I stood there for a moment, looking out at the Phoenix skyline, and I realized something. I didn't hate him. I didn't hate Lauren. I just didn't care anymore. They were part of a story that was over. I was living a different one now. That night, I called Emma from my hotel room. How are the kids? I asked. Good. Claire made pasta art at school. It's hideous. I love it. I laughed. And James? Asleep, finally. He's teething. Poor guy. How's the conference? Fine. Saw someone from the past today. Oh? Kyle, the guy Lauren was with. Silence. And? She asked carefully. And nothing. He apologized. I accepted. We moved on. How do you feel? Honestly, fine. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't matter. It's just done. Good, she said. Because you're here now. With us. And that's what matters. I know. When do you come home? Day after tomorrow. We miss you. I miss you too. After we hung up, I sat on the edge of the hotel bed, looked at the photo on my phone. Emma, Claire, James, all of us at the park last weekend. And I thought about how strange life is, how the worst thing that ever happened to me led me to the best thing, how betrayal led to truth, and truth led to peace. 2 years later, we moved into a house. A real house this time, not the one Lauren and I had shared. Something new, something ours. 4 bedrooms, a backyard with a tire swing, room for the kids to grow. Claire was 8 now, James was 3. They chased each other through the empty rooms on moving day while Emma and I unpacked boxes. This feels right, Emma said. She was taping up a box of kitchen stuff. Yeah, I said, it does. We'd built this, slowly, carefully, with honesty as the foundation. No secrets, no separate bedrooms, no lies, just 2 people choosing each other every day. One Saturday morning, I was in the garage organizing tools. Claire came out holding a jump rope. Daddy, can you tie this to the tree so I can make a swing? We have a tire swing, sweetheart. I know, but I want a rope swing too. I smiled. All right, let me finish this and I'll help you. She sat on the workbench, swinging her legs. Daddy? Yeah? Were you married before Mommy? I looked up. We'd never really talked about it with her, not directly. I was, I said, a long time ago. What happened? It didn't work out. We weren't right for each other. She thought about that. But you and Mommy are right for each other. We are. Good, because I like our family. Me too, Claire. She hopped down. Okay, come on, let's make the swing. We went outside. I tied the rope. She tested it, smiled big. Perfect. I watched her swing for a while, back and forth, happy. And I thought about how simple truth is when you let it be simple. That evening, after the kids were in bed, Emma and I sat on the back porch. The tire swing swayed gently in the breeze. I got an email today, she said. Yeah? From a friend. She's going through a divorce. Her husband cheated. She's pretty lost right now. That's rough. She asked if I knew anyone who'd been through something similar, someone who could give her advice. I looked at Emma. What did you tell her? I said I'd ask you. I was quiet for a moment. I'm not a therapist, I said. I know, but you've been there. You made it through. Maybe that's what she needs, just to hear from someone who's on the other side. I nodded slowly. Okay, give her my number. I'll talk to her. Emma squeezed my hand. Thank you. A few days later, Emma's friend called. Her name was Rachel. She was 34. Her husband had been cheating for over a year. Just found out. Felt blindsided. I listened while she talked, cried, asked questions. How did you get through it? She asked. Honestly, I focused on what I could control, documented everything, found a good lawyer, let the process work. But didn't you hate him? Hate her? For a while, yeah, but I realized hating them was just giving them more power over me. So I stopped. How do you just stop? You choose to, every day. Until one day you don't have to choose anymore. You just don't care. She was quiet for a moment. I don't know if I can do that. You can. It just takes time. What if I'm not strong enough? You are. You called me. That's strength. You're already doing it. She started crying again, but this time it sounded different, relieved. Thank you, she said. I needed to hear that. Anytime. After we hung up, I sat at the kitchen table, stared at my coffee. Emma came in. How'd it go? Good, I think. She just needed someone to tell her she'd survive. Will she? Yeah, she will. Emma kissed the top of my head. You're a good man. I try. The truth is, I don't think about Lauren much anymore. Maybe once or twice a year, usually when something reminds me. A street name, a song, a random memory. But it doesn't hurt. It's just information now. A thing that happened. A chapter that closed. I heard through a mutual contact that she's doing okay. Married, stable, her son is in school, doing well, and I'm genuinely glad for that. Not because I forgive what she did, but because holding on to anger would have poisoned me, not her. She made her choices. I made mine. And my choices led me here. To this house, this family, this life. A life built on truth, on trust, on showing up every single day. Last week, Claire asked me to help her with a school project, a family tree. We sat at the dining room table with markers and poster board. Okay, she said seriously. You and Mommy at the top, then me and James. Sounds good. She drew us, stick figures with big smiles. Do I put anyone else? Like who? I don't know. Grandparents, aunts and uncles? Sure, anyone you want. She drew them all in, colored each one carefully. When she finished, she held it up. What do you think? I looked at the poster. Our family, simple, complete. I think it's perfect. She beamed. Me too. And it was. If you've ever been lied to, if someone tried to trap you with deception, if you had to choose between a comfortable lie and a hard truth, this one's for you. The best revenge isn't proving them wrong. It's building a life where their lies don't matter anymore. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. Hit that like button and subscribe if you want more stories like this. And comment below. Let me know what city you're watching from and what time it is where you are. I love hearing from you. 2 more stories just like this one are coming up next. Stay with me.